Good morning, everyone. This is AJ with FBO Securities. I wanted to create a quick educational video explaining a different type of structured note. Usually in the WhatsApp group, I post a lot of income notes, and it's an easier type of note to understand. This particular note is a high growth note, but it has a full principal protection. So irrespective of what the outcome is at the end of the term, you will receive the full principal back minus any advisory fees, and you will still be subject to the bank's credit risk, but we work with highly rated banks and make sure to try to mitigate that risk overall. So first and foremost, this information is for educational purposes only, should not be considered financial or investment advice. So for this particular note, both of these are issued by BN Paribas, and like I was saying, they're both fully protected on the principal side. So again, at the end of the term, or if it gets called early, then you will get the full principal back minus any advisory fee. For this particular note, it trades on November 12th. This one trades on the 5th or 7th. And this one is tied to Avgo, Tesla, CrowdStrike. This one's tied to Palantir, Micron, and Dell. So for both of the notes, they both have a 5-year term, and after 2 years is when it'll be first callable for both of the notes. So what that simply means is now after 2 years is when the first decision will be made, which basically goes by the condition of if the worst performing stock is now down more than 10% from the initial date, then the note will be called and you will make 40% return, which is basically 20% annualized. Right. So again, if you get called here, then you'll get the full principal back as well. If the note is not called after 2 years, so basically the worst performing was down more than 10%, then it'll live on for another 3 years and then it goes into maturity, right? So now what will happen is for both of these notes, if it does continue on for the next 3 years, you receive a 125% uncapped participation rate for both of the notes based off the worst performing underlying, right? So now let's say at the end of the term, if the worst performing stock was up, say 50%, then you'll receive 62.5% at the end of the term. Now, on the flip side, if the worst performing was negative, let's just say CrowdStrike was down 10% at the end of 5 years, then you will still again receive the full principal back, minus any advisory fees. And again, like I was saying earlier, you're still at risk of the credit risk, or one of the risks that's still involved will be the credit risk of being Paribas, but it is a multi-trillion dollar French bank and one of the largest banks. So we always try to mitigate that risk by working with the top providers overall. So this is again a very different structure and it's a high growth, full principal protected note. So if you are interested in learning more about these types of structures or interested in uh, this note in particular, then please reach out and I'll answer any questions and whatnot. But just wanted to share this structure since it's a little bit different from an income note. But at least again on this side, you are fully protected on the downside for your principal. That's all I have. Thank you. Bye.